Most of us think of consent as something that happens when we say yes or no. But from a nervous system perspective, consent is often a process long before it becomes a conversation. Before we make a decision, before we explain ourselves, and sometimes before we even know what we think, our bodies are already responding. We might notice a sense of ease inside, a feeling of openness, a leaning towards something. Or we might feel a hesitation, a tightening, a pulling away. These signals are often subtle, and many of us have spent years learning to ignore them. We learn to be polite, to be accommodating, to keep the peace, to do what's expected. Over time, that can make it difficult to recognize what we genuinely feel, want, or need. One of the goals of somatic consent is to begin rebuilding that relationship with ourselves, to become curious about the information our bodies are already offering. And this isn't because every sensation should be automatically determining our choices, but instead because our bodies carry valuable information that deserves our attention. You may have experienced this before, like you walk into a room and immediately feel comfortable. Or you meet someone and feel unexpectedly at ease. Or you sense that something just isn't quite right, even if you can't explain why. The nervous system is constantly tracking our experience. Learning to notice those signals is the foundation of this work. Before we explore this week's practice, I want to offer a brief reminder. The series is educational, not therapy. So as you begin paying attention to your internal experience, I encourage you to move slowly and gently. If at any point you notice yourself becoming overwhelmed, activated, or disconnected, pause. Take a moment to orient to your surroundings. Look around the room. Notice a few things that you can see, perhaps a color, a shape, a source of light, or something familiar. Feel your feet on the floor. Notice the support beneath your body. Allow your attention to move between your inner experience and the world around you. There's no prize for pushing through. The practice is learning to listen while staying connected to the present moment. So here's your invitation for this week. Choose a few ordinary moments throughout your day. Nothing big, nothing emotionally charged. Maybe when you're choosing something to eat for lunch. Maybe when you're deciding where to sit. Maybe when you reach for your phone. Just pause for a moment. Take a breath. And gently ask yourself, what does my body notice right now? You don't need a dramatic answer. You don't need certainty. You might notice a sense of ease, a feeling of openness, a slight leaning towards, like we talked about. Or you might feel very little at all. That's okay. This isn't about getting anything right. It's about becoming more familiar with your own internal landscape, the sensations that live inside. It's about beginning to notice the difference between what your mind thinks you should do and what your body might be communicating. Awareness comes before choice. And choice becomes easier when we can recognize what's happening inside of us. So as you move through this week, stay curious. Be gentle with yourself. And remember, you're not trying to force anything. You're just beginning a conversation with a part of yourself that may not have been listened to in a very long time.